What's up, guys? It's time for another draft review. It's, let's see, November 6th, so people are back from Worlds and they're willing to draft. So am I. Looking at the pack, it's a very Alliance heavy, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, Alliance is overdrafted, so there's a chance that with just so many Alliance guys, like if four people go into Alliance, we would get a card back. So I'm fine with that. It's not that bad of a position to be in. Rare wise, the Jevon just isn't as good as the 3/6 that you could pick. I'm not taking a quest. Hidden Strike is the only ability worth considering, but it's not even that great. Between the Tabard or the Crusader, and I prefer the Crusader since it goes either in Night Elves or the human deck, or Night Elf for the human. I could take one of the Tauren, but they're just not very exciting first picks, where the 2/3 is at least a good card in every deck. Alright, next pack. Since we just took the human, taking the Time Walker Lightsworn wouldn't be a bad pick. And probably, just looking at the pack, both the monsters aren't exciting. These equipments are terrible. Just like, I just passed two Taurens, and even these ones, only Ben checks this guy's the good one. This guy's just okay. The Darkhorn. His 1/4 body, not exciting. Decimate, not really what we need. We could take an Aerostorm, but no reason to commit when we can just get a better card, and that locks us into Alliance, which what would I want to do right now? So the pick for me would be between Wall of Eternity and the Time Walker, but given that I just took a human, I want to take another human, probably the best one in the pack too. So okay, next pack, there's two quests that are both what I consider playable, so that's not bad. Strike is good. You can take out some of those elusive Night Elves, which is nice. It's also only one cost. None of these abilities look exciting. If we were torn, we could take the Bench Access guy or the Thunder Bluff. This is the ally I was talking about that was better than the 2/8 rare that I opened. I think the clear pick for us is the Deathsworn. Just keeps us on the human theme. I mean, I could take Strike, but usually end up getting those a little bit later. The other option I guess I could consider is this Frenzied Fellhound. But when I'm playing like humans or Night Elves, I really like just to focus on the race that I'm on. I don't really want to start going off the beaten path, I suppose. This pack actually has a lot of options for us. Again, we have the quest that draws you a card. Always a good choice. Strike, just like I talked about. Ian, which is good because it looks like we're going to have a heavy human deck. Or there's this Laura chick, which I've never actually played with. I've had it a couple times, but I've never actually put her into play just because whenever I could, either I was just destroying them or she was going to be a 1/1. So she seems very like win more, but I'm hoping I could wheel her to try her out. I don't really want to take her this early. I'd rather take the Ian. He's my preferred 3-drop, so that's the pick. The other card I would consider is a Soul Stealer. He's got a good body. He has great ability. There's a lot of good things about him, but I just want to force the human strategy right now, just because I don't want anybody else to get into it. Well, this is good for us. And seeing a 5th pick Lorien Alliance is always awesome. This is going to be the pick, just because it automatically turns on our Unity for 2 of our allies. And seeing the late Messiah Shade Fury. That's interesting. I would have thought we haven't really seen any Night Elves, so I would have thought somebody would have beaten Night Elves, and this is the Night Elf you want to open. I'm not really a big fan of either of the abilities in this deck. Just like we're not going to take either of the Taurens or either of the monsters, they're just terrible. So really, I mean, there's no other pick. We're going to pick Glory to the Alliance. So we could take either of the quests. They're both basically pay 4, draw a card. Most of the times when you want to complete documenting the time ways, it's later in the game, so you have at least 5 cards. So this is Typically, it's pay 4, draw a card. Sometimes it's pay 3. There's the Assassin, which is a nice 2-drop, but I want to fill up my 2-drops with Crusaders and Lightsworns. I don't really want Assassin there. Northshire Cleric has a Unity ability, but I've never had it have any impact. So I'm not really looking to take that. And then there's Death Decree. So I'm not a big fan of Death Knight, but I am a fan of having ally removal. And given that my only other choices are 2 quests and 2 allies that are, below standard, I'm not willing to pass the removal. I think it's a good pick here. It just seems like we are the human drafter at the table because we're getting a Black Soul. I guess this is 7th pick. I just want to be clear. There's just looking at the names. We have a top 16er, Seth Miner. We have 3 Darkmoon Fair winners, including myself, in this draft. So this isn't just some random scrub table. This is a good indication of what I would guess a tough pot is. But my pick here is easily the Black Soul. The other allies just aren't going to make my deck. The 2/4's just unexciting. The 1/1, I guess he has potential, but I don't, he's a little. You want to go something like him into Bloodthirsty Shout, attack them for 3, play something for free, kill their ally with your hero. Just do something crazy with it. And I'm not in any kind of class that's going to let me do that. The weapons suck. Whoever's horde next to me has a good thing going. This pack is good for us. Really, what we want is cheap humans. That lets us turn on our Unity easier. So, Lady Bancroft's always a good pick. Either one of the 2 quests is good. Typically in the human deck, you don't usually get to 8 resources, so I'd prefer to have the archival purposes. Later in the game, when you're drawing cards, the humans tend to be a little bit cheaper, so paying 4 to draw 1 card is usually not that bad of a deal because you can still play whatever you draw. I'm still just going to take Bancroft here. It seems like the quests are coming a little bit later, but I'd rather just say I'm the Alliance drafter. I'm going to be the guy that's in this. So Bancroft's going down. And this is an interesting pack because Sorcerer, for those who can't see it, there's Sorcerer, there's Ian. Ian's human. He's going to be in our deck a large percent of the time. The Sorcerer will always be in every Alliance deck we have just because it replaces itself when it comes into play. So either one of these guys is a great card to have. It's just a tough spot to be in here. We have so many humans that Ian's probably the better choice. I just hate passing Sorcerer. I'm not really sure what I want to do. I guess I just got to take the human here. The Sorcerer gives me options later, but I just want to stay with the humans. Just because I got a multiple. I have the Lightsworn. I also have the Black Soul, so just having more humans is good. And now I have 2 Ians, so yeah, I guess it's just you have to do it. Basically nothing. I could take the Pit Lord's Destroyer. We don't have any monsters to make it do anything, so it's not very exciting. It's just a blank weapon. But if we were a monster, it'd be awesome. Just something that grows every turn, but the pick here, it's the quest. We're not likely going to play it, but at least it gives us an option. And I think either it was this pack or the next pack. I wasn't paying that close of attention where we should see the Lara if we're going to get it back. I'd be surprised if somebody took it, just how many humans we got. If somebody else takes it, whatever. I guess we're not testing it out. Yeah, I guess we're not testing it out, but looks like we got a good pick here. I'll always take a quest this late. None of these other cards are going to ever matter. The 2. If we play against a priest deck, we did pass the Mind Crush. We'll want to be careful not to walk into the Spirit Shield. The boar, only really matters in the monster deck just because they're light on 3 drops. I guess I could worry about Arcane Unraveling, but Mage is just so bad that most players don't play it. I don't really want to Death Decree their ally, only they have them Arcane Unraveling it. That'd be pretty terrible for me. The Tabard's just unplayable. Overall, this draft seems awesome so far. Really, all we can ask for is more early 1 drops, summon of the 3 drop that makes a 1/1, and as many Time Walker Lightsworns as we can pick up. Okay, multiple choices. Like I said before, I really don't want to fill my deck up with assassins when I could fill up with Lightsworns and Crusaders. But I always want to fill my deck up with quests. Like I want to have, especially in the human deck when you're just playing a bunch of little allies, I want to have like 6 to 7 quests. So for me, the pick is documenting, but I don't blame anybody if they just want to take the humans so nobody else has it. But for me, this is the pick. All right, and nobody seems to be priest. I mean, Minecraft's just still a removal, an ally removal. Like, I'm basically between these two. Like, I don't have a class, so I don't mind taking the priest card. And we know we're gonna get late priest cards later, but priest just doesn't seem that good. And honestly, I don't even know what the hero does. So let me do this. Let me open one of these ones up. Set hero. Oh yeah, okay. So she heals all damage from an ally and makes a pet. That flip's not that bad. Let's just take the Mind Crush just so we don't have to play against it. We don't give people an incentive to take it. Out of the 2 cards, we took a priest card last, so there's no reason not to take the priest card again. We're never going to play this card unless we play against some human deck and they're good at making 1/1 protectors, and our decks are going to go late. Like, that's the only way I could ever see this card being sided in. And here's stupid little Torin. Overall, I think the pack went great for us. We have, what is this, 8 human creating cards. We have 2 good quests. We have ally removal if we want, and Death Decree. I don't know what else you want out of a pack. At least if we go the Death Knight, we have 2 decent flips. We have one that makes a goal and one that gets back one of their allies. I'm also very willing to switch to any other class if I open something awesome. So pack number 2 offers us a Well of Eternity, a Glorious Alliance, which will probably be the pick depending on what else is in the pack. There's a bunch of Night Elves. These 2 are being awesome. The other one being still playable. A Void Terror, which is nice just because it's a 5/5/5. Pretty big body in this format, but for us, the clear pick is Glory to the Lance. Why not just keep on going with this human theme we have? And pack number 2 offers us nothing. If we wanted to stay in Death Knight, we got the Frigid Fatality. We could take the quest, which is still fine. I mean, it's second pick quest is nothing exciting. Could take a 2/3 body, which isn't very exciting. I like taking the Fire Caller just because it's an ally that lives through turn 4 typically. Plus, he's good against other human decks. And he's also decent against the Tauren deck just because they have these awkward 1/5s. And he has that 5 health or 5 attack once you have him turned on. I'll take the Smasher. I'll take the Fire Caller. This pack is a little disappointing. Considering that last pack we didn't pass very many humans, and this pack we're just getting nothing. So the pick here is Strike, the Purposes, or the Sorceress. No real reason to take anything else. So when it comes down to sorceress or purposes, I'm going to take the sorceress like 90% of the time. Unless it's like late in pack 3 and I have 0 quests. Something weird situation like that. But a 3/3 that draws you a card on turn 3 is awesome. Purposes usually takes a bit longer, and then you always top deck this late and you can just play it, draw a card. So sorceress it is. So for us, another Well of Eternity, which is good because we have a lot of humans. We could take the Dreadlord, which doesn't really do much for us. None of the monsters are exciting. If we were a monster deck, we'd have something special going on. There's a lot of monsters going around. But really, like, we have one Desecree. There's another one come in late. I think that's just Desecree. Blah. More nothing packs. Pack 1 was awesome. Pack 2 is just a disaster for our deck. So, once we know like how bad Pack 2 has started, there's a lot of Alliance drafters to our right. So there's no reason to take a quest here and hope for one of these guys to come back because it's just not going to happen. What I would rather do is just pass these, hope that a quest comes back. And we have enough humans that I think this Stella could be good. So let's just take her. We have, 2 quests? So I could take a quest here. Like I said, I want to get to 6 or 7, so taking a quest is a fine option. Could take the Frigid. It's a good combat trick. Makes people disappointed when they don't trade their ally. There's a Bowen here. We can't go that because we're pretty solidly in Death Knight with 2 Death Decree. The monster deck has another great ally. I think I'm going to get a Frigid. I think it was 9th pick. I think I'm going to 9th or 10th pick. I'm going to wheel one. I could see just passing it and hoping to get it back. I'd rather just take the quest. Alright. Still nothing for us. I mean, I could take the Assassin. I could take the Tabard. Not really excited about either. I guess I could have seen this coming. We passed a pack with a lot of Alliance allies in it. And what we did was we just jammed them just so that people next to us really didn't see anything. But sometimes you do what you can and it doesn't work out. I mean, the pick for me is Well of Eternity. It's like the best quest in our deck. Going into next pack, we're going to focus on trying to pick up 1-drops and some more 2s. Yeah, Well of Eternity is the pick here. Nothing in here for us. There's a Firestorm. There was one late last pack, so it went to one of the people to my left, like in the next 5 states. So given this is coming back around, like I'm not worried about anybody being in Mage because they would have 2 of the copies if they wanted it by now. There's also this 4/3, which we could hate. It's just a big body for 3. There's Endure, which actually can be quite the blowout if you don't play around it. It could take the quest. I mean, it's just a pack of do nothing. I'm just going to take the ally because he's just the best card in the pack and he can make other people excited. So we get this pack. Interesting because I thought Void Terror was one of the better cards in the pack, and seeing it here just makes me wonder what people are taking. I could take the Void Terror. He's just a big beater. But at the same time, I could also just take the Shadow Blade, which has some synergy with my Sorceress. Not really anything else, but he's just cheaper, and he's still the same output, 4/4/4. So I'm not disappointed with that. The other thing is we make a lot of protectors with the 2 glory to the lines. So taking away a card that stops those protectors is good, where I could always stop Void Fire or Void Terror for a couple turns. Not really worried about it. Let's just take the Shadow Blade. I kind of like where this deck's going though. We have two Glory of the Alliance, we have two Death Decree, so we can set up to where we're going to these later turns where a Death Decree will start kicking in. That doesn't seem, that bad. All right, I was right. 10th pick, we get the Frigid Fatality. I don't know how to pronounce it right. I said Fatality last time. That's not what it is. I like this just because we plan for it, they can't. I could take the Raging Blow. There's a combo with it. Just 9 resources and them at 15 damage left. But not better than the 2 Death Decree we have. Yeah, we're just going to take the quest. We're getting close to where I want to be. I think if I count right, that's 5 quests with the 2 documenting, 2 purposes, and the Well of Eternity. There's sure is a lot of helms in these packs, but those are kind of bad for us just because it stops a lot of our tokens and could pick up a couple of Vainglories for our side deck. It's pretty clear no one's a monster because the Trog Earth Rager should have gone the first time and Trial should have gone the second time. The only card really we want is this Dreadlord. He's a good top deck once you start kicking their teeth in. For some reason, it's not letting me take it. So I'm going to close this. Close this. Seems like the draft kind of crashed down for a second. Yes, I want to join the table. Alright, it gave me the Dreadlord. That's good. None of these cards are exciting, but I'll take the Tenacity. Just if something makes me just want to just move out of Death Knight for whatever reason, we have the Mind Crush to go with it. Call of Void does nothing. We have 1 demon. Not going to move into anything that has helm potential. Look, we got the Frigid back. It's a good thing we just didn't move in on it there. There really wasn't any reason. I had a good feeling that this would come back. It's not like this is a great card either, so passing it's not going to hurt us. Look at the awesomeness in pack 1. Look at all these blue cards in a row with the removal spell, 2 abilities. And look at pack 2. Womp womp. Bunch of terribleness. I got what, 2 humans? Stella not even being that exciting. Like my best card is Glory Alliance out of the pack, and it was my first pick. I mean, I like Glory Alliance, but it's not like something you brag about. There's the Fire Collar. Let's see where this pack takes us. Alright. So, okay. There's 3 quests, all of them make my deck, so I'm excited about that. Like, at least I expect to get 1 quest back as an option on the wheel. There's another strike, which we haven't taken yet, but we might want to move into just because it seems like there's a Night Elf deck out there, and this guy just kills their 2-drop. So that's good. A Vigilant Guard, which is good with all of our protectors. This is a card I'd hope to wheel, actually. They're 4/3 protector and the 3/5. I'm gonna take Virgil, just because of his body size more than anything. Like his power to ready all the humans isn't that exciting, but being a 3/5 protector is. And now pack 2 offers us a tough decision. There's Lady Bancroft, which we need more 1-drops to make this deck really like hum, or there's a Tabard, and Tabard's the more powerful card. Just because like we can go Tabard or like set up a turn where we Glory an Alliance on turn 4, Tabard and play on turn 5 and use it. Plus, I don't really want to pass a second Tabard to somebody. Okay, I'm going to take the Tabard and hope to just pick up a different 1-drop somewhere along the line. Oh, there's a Bancroft, so I guess no matter what we do, we're going to get there. Could take the strike again, but considering we could just keep passing them and hoping to get them on the wheel, it's not like we have to. The Bancroft is what I was just asking for. There's a Sorceress who's always good, and there's an Unstoppable Abyssal, which is also always good. So we got choices. Considering that we want to go like 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, so we can turn on these Ians, I think Bancroft has to be the pick. I'm disappointed by having to pass a Sorceress over a Bancroft, but I think we have to. Man, somebody's in love. They have 3 Shade Furies. That's awesome. Annoying for us. We have to play against it, and we can't really kill them early. We only have 2 Death Decree, so it kind of sucks for us. But what else can't we do? The pick here is easily the Crusader. It lets us just do the play we just talked about. You play Bancroft, they play their 1 drop. You play your Crusader, they can't kill your Bancroft. Turn 3, you play Ian and kill their guy for free. Nothing else is great in here, anyways, so we're not really losing out on anything. This pack we like a lot. I need another 1 drop, and not even looking at the rest of the pack all the way. I get the quick glance. She's going to be the pick. She makes that play of Ian even easier. I already have 5 quests. I think quests are going to come back around, pick 7, 8, or 9. No reason to take this. The Night Elf deck that I'm passing is probably pretty insane to whoever's getting it. So I think it's Bossum who's next to me, and he's pretty all in on Alliance. So he's probably got a lot of these guys, so he's probably pretty happy. There's a Deathsworn, which I would normally snap up just because I like his Protector power, and I have a couple tricks with it. But the Stormwind Summoner is just too much of a plus right now to not take it. So there's 2 quests in here, which I think we'll get if we just keep letting them pass. I think we're going to get the number of quests we want anyways. I just ignored Path of Dragon Soul. If you've listened to any of my videos, you just know I think a card's trash. There's a Girdle, which I actually like a lot. So I think it's a great sideboard card. When you're going second, it can save you a ton of damage. Plus, it's annoying to play against. I could take the Cleric, but I don't really need. I got 1, 2. I guess I could use another 3-drop, but I have a lot of extra 2-drops and 1-drops, so I'm not really worried about it. Take the armor. This pack we got a gift. I could just see this and stop, because the only other card we take is human. And considering we haven't seen one in the draft, I can't really complain. So Time Walker Lightsworn is easily the pick here. I'm expecting to get a quest next pick or the Vigilant Guard. I actually like Doomsmith. It just seems like a free removal ability. You just kill your worst ally to kill their worst or their best ally. Typically good. Another Frenzied Fellhound. That's kind of a late pick for somebody. And let's see. So the last pack we get has another Sorceress and another Ian. I don't have any humans, so I don't need to have the 3-drop human. But my deck is more powerful if I'm casting Ian on turn 3 and taking out something of theirs. Sorceress is always good, so it's a tough choice. Either way, I'm going to have a good ally. I have 2 Ians already. Picking up a 3rd Ian's fine, but he's not like a card we have to have. Or the Sorceress casting it on turn 3 is always good. I'll just take the Sorceress. I got 2 copies of each. I'm pretty happy with that. Like I predicted, the quest came back out of a pretty strong pack. I have 2 Occupying, I have 2 Archival. There could take the human. We have a lot of drops. I don't really need to take the human. think I just want to take the quest. And given the packs, I think I'm going to take documenting. I mean, they're most of the time they're basically the same card, but basically nothing. I could take the Vainglorious for my side deck. I'm not going to play it main deck. I'm just going to hate the Flamecaster. I have enough cards as it is. I think I'm way over. Actually. Blah. Focused Heal, this card to play around. Echo would be gone if somebody was Shaman. Because this card can create some like serious blowout situations. I'm just going to take this Tome. If I play against a good Horde deck, like maybe I want to like race them. Oh, I can't even use it. I guess that there's no reason to take it then. I hate when these cards are like aligned stamp, but not even every class. I guess we take the Storm Crier. Blah blah blah. There's no monster deck that I noticed, but there might be one out there. I could just get it to attack them for one, though it doesn't seem that great. Let's just take the Vainglorious for our side deck. So you could see, like, once people knew what they wanted to do, the pack started tightening up. Like, pack 2 was not a disaster, but not what we wanted. Pack 3, we got kind of back on track. Oh, all 3 cards that could go in our deck. Let's see. I could take the Mooncaller just because it's a cheap ally. I don't really need quest number 7, though I do have 2 Death Decrees, so it's nice to have quest when I'm rowing to try to get there. I mean, Mooncaller's an ally, so it probably just has more value overall when I already have 6 quests to draw cards. So I'll take the Mooncaller. Somebody's gonna like pick. We got the purposes anyway, so we have 7 quests, which is a little bit on the high side. Typically, I don't even get 5 or 6, but Euphoria is not the pick. Got a Gifted Heal late. Priest just sucks though, so that's expected. I'd have to say, I think I'm passing the Bossum if that's how this works. I think the arrows just point the wrong way. So I would guess Bossum or Isaac have like a really good Night Elf deck. So I'm going to try to play Bossum first just to see if it's true. And given the way our deck was, like, I think he has an advantage there with 3 of the Lords that give +2 assault. I don't have any humans to kind of fight that. It doesn't seem like all my protectors, like my 4/3 protector, just gets eaten up by any ally with assault 2. Be a tough match. So I'm going to build my deck offline and then like this link below what my final deck is. But right now, I think it's going to be 3 purposes, 3 time ways, 1 well, both Bancrofts, the Stormwind Summoner, the Girdles in the side deck, the 2 Glory Alliance, the 2 Crusader, the 2 Time Walker Lightsworn, 2 Ians, 1 Mooncaller, the Deathsworn, the Deathsworn, the Shadowblade, the Firecaller, the Black Soul, the Virgil, Stormwind Tabard, 2 Desecree, 2 Sorceress, and the Stella. Overall, I think it's a pretty good deck. The only deck I'm like completely worried about is a powerful Night Elf deck, just because I passed 3 of the Lord. Like that seems pretty silly. I don't have early removal to stop them. Like if I was in a class that had Blitz, I wouldn't be as worried about it. I think the girdle will help out in that matchup because I can mitigate some of the damage that's getting like hitting my hero. The Ians suck in the Night Elf matchup just because they have so many elusive allies. It'll be a tough match, but we'll see what we can do. All right. Check out game one. It'll be linked below.